All right, so when we look here, you want to pick out the key, any key numbers and keywords. Okay, so I noticed that it says 100,000, so that's a key piece of information. It says 8%, 150,000. Okay, so those three numbers right there. Okay, we know that we're going to need to find A equals P equals R equals and T equals. Those are the things that we're trying to find. Okay, A is the ending amount, P is the principal, so like the starting amount, R is the rate, and T is the time in years. Okay. All right, so we know the easiest one for me to pick out is the percent. That one's always the rate, which is really simple. So we have 8%, but when you put it in the formula, you have to put it in decimal form. So we got 0.08 because you're going to move it 2 places to the left. So 1, 2, and fill it in with a 0. Okay. All right, the time, does it say, if we look in here, it does not actually say the number of years because it says, there's your question, how long did it take? So we know that the time is going to be a question mark. I got to find the time. Okay, I'm looking also for, I want to be able to find a keyword in there that's going to tell me, is it increasing or decreasing? And if you find the word growing, we know that that lets me know that I'm increasing in value. So out of these two numbers here, 100,000 and 150,000, if you're growing, then you had to start at 100,000 because it's going to go up. Okay, and so that would be your ending amount. Okay, so if we look here, we've got the starting one is going to be 100,000 here. And we've got 150,000, which is your ending amount. Okay, and we know that by this word growing, we're going to use a plus sign. So we're going to use a plus sign in my formula. So now my formula will always be A equals P times 1 plus or minus R to the T power. But for this example, because I'm using the plus sign, I want to only use the plus in the problem. So I'm going to get rid of wherever my eraser is. Okay, so we'll just do this. So we're going to use A equals P times 1 plus R to the T for this particular problem because the plus sign is what we want to use. Okay, so now let's plug them in. We've got A, which is this value here, 150,000. So we're going to put in 150,000 in the A value. That equals the P value, which is 100,000, which goes right here, times 1 plus your rate. Your rate is this one because you got to put it in decimal form, so 0.08. 0.08, and we don't know T, so we're going to put a question mark. I'm just going to label it as T. Okay, so now we need to solve this equation. So I'm going to do that on a separate page. Add a page. Okay, so it was 150,000 equals 100,000 times 1 plus the rate, which was 0.08. raised to the T power. Okay, you're trying to solve for the T. Okay, so you want to get rid of some of the things that are on this side. So we're actually going to get rid of the 100,000 first because it is multiplying. I'm going to use division to cancel it out. Those cancel out. I'm left with 1.5. 1.5 on the left side here, and that's going to equal what's left over. These cancel out, so I'm left with 1 plus 0.08 to the T power. Okay, we're going to simplify the parentheses because you've got all numbers here. So we bring down the 1.5, that equals, when you add those in the calculator, you're going to get 1.08 raised to the t power. Okay, so we're making it a little bit simplified. We're getting it a little bit closer. If you notice, t is still here, and I've just got this raised to the t power. So in order to get rid of a variable that's an exponent, okay, we want to use this log stuff that we've been talking about. Okay, so we're going to circle our base, and we're going to switch these. Okay, and before we do that, let's actually do this. Let's put it in a pretty form. So we've got 1.08 to the t equals 1.5. That's what you're going to do first. So make sure it's base exponent on the left first, so that when you do your switching, it'll work. So you actually have, let's try that again. So here's your base, and now we're going to switch these two. Okay, so you get log base 1.08, and now switch them. So you have 1.5 equals t. Okay, then this right here is change of base. So we go log over log the base number, which is this one, goes on the bottom. So you have 1.08 on the bottom, and you have the 1.5 on top. So we have 1.5. Okay, when you type that in the calculator, okay, it's going to equal to whatever t is. So you've got log, yep, divide it, make sure you divide it. Okay, so we got log 1.5, divide it, then another log 1.08, and you get this value 5.27 when it rounds equals t. So this is approximately 5 years, because t is in time, so it's approximately 5 years.